The crystalline spires of Vorothiel had stood for 17,000 years, untouched by time or war. Within its amber walls, the Dragon Council convened in emergency session for only the third time in recorded history. A human child has breached the Sanctum of Echoes, High Castellan Orin announced, his scaled brow furrowed in disbelief. Around the circular chamber, 12 dragons in their humanoid forms shifted uneasily. Impossible, someone muttered. The Sanctum's wards could incinerate armies. Yet security footage showed a small figure, no more than 7 solar cycles, old, walking through barriers that had atomized elder gods. She hummed to herself, blonde pigtails bouncing, clutching a box of what appeared to be crayons. How did she survive? Council member Thresh demanded. Orin's golden eyes narrowed. That's not the concerning part. The holographic display zoomed in. The human child, identified as Emily Harrison from the agricultural colony on Kepler 442b, was drawing on the sanctum walls. Crude stick figures. A lopsided sun. A house with smoke curling from its chimney. Except the smoke was flickering with ethereal fire. The sun was pulsing with solar harmonics. And the stick figures were primordial glyphs, Orin whispered, his voice hollow with shock. The chamber erupted. Dragons reverted partially to their true forms in agitation. Scales rippling beneath skin. Eyes igniting with ancient fire. She's writing the tongue of creation. Without training? Without understanding? This is heresy. Orin raised a clawed hand for silence. 20 minutes ago, her drawing of what she called a happy flower accidentally opened a temporal rift. Maintenance sealed it before anything catastrophic occurred. Then she drew Mommy and Daddy holding hands and briefly merged 2 parallel dimensions. He paused, letting that sink in. She's currently working on a rainbow where unicorns live. The implications crystallized immediately. If Emily completed that drawing with the unconscious power she was channeling, we must eliminate the threat, Thresh declared. Several council members nodded grimly. She's a child, Orin snapped, surprising himself with his vehemence. She wandered away from the diplomatic quarter where her parents are negotiating grain contracts. She doesn't know what she's doing, precisely why she's dangerous. Untrained power is power nonetheless. Orin's gaze swept the council. Do you know how rare this is? Humans aren't supposed to perceive primordial glyphs, let alone instinctively reproduce them. We've studied their species for 3 centuries. They're clever, adaptable, ridiculously persistent, but they lack the neurological pathways for glyphcraft. Or so we believed. He pulled up Emily's genetic scan. She's completely ordinary. Average human DNA. No mutations, no anomalies. Which means, he let the sentence hang, all humans might have this capacity. Councilmember Wyrus finished quietly. They simply never learned to access it. The chamber fell silent. Each dragon contemplating a universe where humanity, numerous, ambitious, and already expanding across dozens of systems, possessed reality-altering abilities. Orin continued. Emily's drawings work because she doesn't know they shouldn't. She hasn't learned the limitations we teach our younglings. When she draws the sun, she believes it should shine. When she draws smoke, she knows it should curl and drift. Her intent is pure, unfiltered by doubt or protocol. Then we teach her properly, Thresh argued. Bring her into the academy. Train her. Before what? Before she teaches other humans? Before her parents post holovids of their daughter's adorable drawings that accidentally trigger star formations? Orin shook his head. Mitochondrial formations. Apses, before parents beat. Holovids said. Apses the mitochondrial formations. Before now. We're past that crossroads. Right now, she's in the sanctum, probably drawing a big friendly dragon. He smiled without humor. I wonder what that will manifest. As if summoned by his words, alarms shrieked. The holographic display shifted to show the sanctum, where a spectral dragon formed from pure light was materializing above Emily's latest crayon masterpiece. It was crude, childish, with too many legs and wings sprouting from odd angles. But it was real, and growing more solid by the second. Emily clapped her hands in delight. Pretty. The spectral dragon opened its mouth and sang. The note resonated across 17 dimensions. A sound so fundamental that the palace walls sang in harmony. Every dragon in the council chamber felt it in their bones, their blood, their names. That's the song of first awakening. Eurus breathed. The melody from when dragons first emerged from cosmic fire. How does she know it? She doesn't, Orin realized, standing abruptly. She's not reproducing dragon knowledge, she's accessing something deeper. Something before dragons, before separation into species and forms. He moved toward the exit. I'm going to the sanctum. Orin, wait. But he was already running, his massive frame blurring as he partially shifted, gaining speed. Through corridors that had witnessed millennia, past murals depicting the rise and fall of civilizations. Orin raced toward the child who was innocently rewriting reality. He found Emily adding finishing touches to a new drawing her family, standing in front of something that looked like their farmhouse, except the architecture was wrong in ways that suggested it existed in more than 3 dimensions. Hello, Mr. Dragon. Emily looked up, beaming. Do you like my pictures? Orin knelt, bringing his head level with hers. Up close, he saw what the scanners had missed. There was nothing special in her eyes. No hidden wisdom or power. Just a child's curiosity and joy. They're beautiful, he said honestly. Emily, do you know what you're drawing? She tilted her head. Pictures? Yes, but... Special pictures. They're making things happen. Real things. Emily's eyes widened. Like magic? Something like that. She considered this, then pointed at her family portrait. Can you make my drawing real? So we can have a house here? Mommy says we have to go home soon. But I like it here. The walls are so pretty and sparkly. Orin looked at the drawing, at the impossible architecture, at the way young Emily had instinctively designed a structure that could bridge human and dragon aesthetics, creating something neither species had imagined, but both could appreciate. He thought about the council's fear, about Thresh's calls for elimination or control. He thought about humanity's inexorable spread through the galaxy, and what it would mean if they truly could touch the primordial tongue. Then he thought about Emily's question, asked with simple hope. Yes, Orin said, making a choice that would reshape the next age of civilization. Yes, I can. But first, you need to learn some things. Would you like that? Emily nodded enthusiastically. Behind them, the spectral dragon she'd created settled into the corner, curling up like a contented cat, still humming the song of first awakening. On the walls, crayon drawings glowed with power older than stars. And in that moment, the universe shifted not through conquest or conflict, but through a child's imagination and a dragon's wisdom, recognizing that sometimes the most profound changes begin with crayons on palace walls. The future would remember this day not as a crisis, but as the moment 2 species learned to dream together.